Judy Muinde, who's a confidence coach, is our next guest. Judy, karibu sana. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
You'll tell us about the work that you've been doing, especially on women empowerment,
Sure.
and what exactly that means. How does an empowered woman feel, behave, look like? What are the dividends of having an empowered woman? Okay. Before we get into that conversation, Jano would be seated there. She'd
Right.
give you the quote. You know the drill. Today, it's Mariam. So listen to the quote, words that were said sometime by someone, and let's see how you relate with them.
Okay.
All right. So our quote today is from Molefi Kete Asante. Molefi Kete Asante said this at a USA Afrocentricity event in 1980. Until Africans control their own narratives, they will remain captives of other people's imagination. Until Africans control their own narratives, they will remain captives of other people's imagination. Does that ring true for you?
Absolutely. Whenever we don't control our story, definitely we will be into other people's, what they require of us or what they think of us. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
When you think of that from women's stories over time being told for them, and your work then in, basically empowering, giving confidence, etc., does that ring even more true? Because I think women's stories are the most co-opted in the world. Yeah?
Absolutely. Because a lot of us women, we think that, empowerment comes from somebody else. At some point, it has to come from the women themselves, and we have to empower ourselves. So if we don't rise to the occasion, especially when it comes to economic empowerment, we'll always be left behind, we'll always be crying, it's someone else's fault, and it's actually our fault.
I like that you started with the economic empowerment, because sometimes I think when we have these conversations around empowering women, it sounds nice, but the truth is without money, we're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
That's the fact of the matter.
Money makes the world go round.
Quite
Absolutely.
literally, right?
Yeah.
From your perspective, how does money make the world go? We know it's in the way it makes our lives go around, but from that perspective of money makes the world go around for women, what does that look like?
I think it gives us options. Many of us who are, if I can say, in the booty economy, we are in relationships because someone is offering a financial benefit.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to use that one, by the way. I'll use
Feel
that
free.
one. Yes.
Feel free. So you find that a lot of us women, we are in relationships that don't serve us because they serve a financial need in our lives. So you'll have to stay, the famous song, you'll tell someone, I like that kitambi, and you don't. So
that's not your type, but the money is your type.
Exactly. So you'll have to placate, you'll have to make yourself fit that situation so that you can get something. And also you'll be also serving low-level jobs, never rising up, because unfortunately, whether we like it or not, some doors are opened by money, and when you don't have money, those doors remain closed. So the money thing is a big part of being empowered as a woman. Yeah.
So what do? You coach people on empowerment.
Yes, sir.
What's that? What exactly do you do?
So I help women develop confidence, and that confidence is anchored on money confidence, because when you have money confidence, it means that self-confidence is automatic. Decision confidence. Why? Because if you have a money goal, it means that you are ruthless in terms of your decision, how you spend your time, how you're going to do your things. So the things are just going to be a no for you. So now when you get into money confidence, you're able to create money, you're able to pursue opportunities that give you money, and then you're able to make decisions for yourself that involve money. So you can be able to say, hey, I'm going to be able to live in this way. You're also able to be philanthropic, because there's no philanthropy without money.
So is that the same as financial independence?
I don't subscribe to the independence part because I don't think there's any human being who is truly independent. We are interdependent. So I would say there is freedom. There's financial freedom.
Okay.
That means you have liberties. You can, go outside and decide, hey, I like that dress, and you buy that dress. I want to go to a particular place. I want to help particular people, and you're able to make that choice in terms of it being like a freedom.
Right. Yeah.
So take me through a session that then you have this session with women and you're teaching them self-confidence that is equated to money confidence.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
So let's say we're in this room. So I'm going to ask you definitely your background in terms of money, because our psyche has a lot to do with our money and our backgrounds.
Yes.
So for instance, if you grew up in a home where money was scarce, especially most people who were brought up in parents that were civil servants, there was always that cologne that was revolving. So,
this one and then take the next one.
Exactly. And then, so you always felt your parents were tight or something like that. Some people are more privileged. Probably they had even more pocket money and all of that. Others, abject poverty. So we have to start from there.
Others shifted
from
nothing to we're balling, or from we're balling to nothing.
Exactly.
And that also,
Exactly. So there are good experiences. There are also traumatic experiences. So those things form stories about money. So I will try and understand what is your story and then what is your goal, so that we can understand this is where you're coming from. These are some things that may sabotage your relationship with money, to where you're like, oh, I want to make like $1 million this month. How are you going to get there if you feel that money is scarce? If you have scarcity, you're not going to be able to see the opportunities around you to get there. So
and you're saying my background will influence that?
Definitely.
How so? So say you grew up in a household that had scarcity of money,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes, you may have been getting 3 meals, though not square meals. You may have been going to school, but, sometime in the middle of the term, you'll be sent home for school fees, and then you'll come back home. You'll come back to school after a while. And so there's that. There's things are happening because you're growing up and you're going through school and you've gone through school.
Yeah.
But there was always that battle between iko na haiko.
Yes.
How does that impact that person's psyche, that woman's psyche?
So you'll find there are people who drift from extreme ends. So there's one who'll be frugal, like every single coin you save. So your mindset is saving so that I never have to go back to poverty. So, and sometimes that means they do not invest. So your money, because of inflation and all of that, like it just...
So by saving for them is keep it aside.
Yes, keep it aside. I just want to see this huge... When I look at my bank account...
I can see the money there.
I know there's no one coming to auction me.
Exactly.
Or the landlord won't come with a padlock.
Nasina deniam too.
Nasina deniam too.
Okay.
So it's just you're trying to create that safety and wanting to ensure that, I am fenced in and that's it. And
I just want to see money in my account.
Yes. And then there are others who are like, okay, I think I missed out on a lot. So YOLO.
Balling.
We are all in.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to...
Si landlord alikam, sikukufa.
Yeah.
So even
Tumia pesa ikuzoe.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's almost fatalistic. It's almost like you're trying to outrun that day when money will never, you'll find yourself that you don't have money.
Right.
So all of this, they're just traumas or things that you've gone through. Yeah.
There's something you said about, I don't know which comes first, self-confidence or money confidence, because I think you spoke to money confidence giving you self-confidence. I'm like, I think it's a self-confidence that gives you money confidence. Talk to me about that. Which comes first?
I think that you should pursue money confidence because it automatically brings you self-confidence. Why? Because when you're pursuing money confidence, you'll have to put yourself in situations that are highly uncomfortable. For instance, if I'm wanting to hawk, my wares. So because I have a money goal, at the end of the day, I want maybe to have 1,500 bob.
Yeah.
I will have to put myself in situations that people have to tell me no. And so I'll have to develop self-confidence so that whatever rejections I'm getting, I'm able to push through to get to my yes. So it comes automatically. But when we pursue self-confidence, when we get to money confidence, you're going to find the gaps. Because yes, I'm confident. You built a ceiling of confidence. And then now when I give you a task, hey, do this, you're finding yourself flattering because you're not sure how am I going to be received. So I find that when we anchor confidence on money, it gives you opportunities to build all these other things.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have to push back on that.
Yeah.
Because money comes and goes. Money is fleeting. So then when you anchor your confidence on said money, that means that when the money isn't there, or the means of getting the money isn't there, then
you
your
lose confidence.
your self-confidence isn't. That's super dangerous for a human to be anchored in money.
I get what you're saying. So I would say my definition of money confidence is your ability as a person to be able to pursue opportunities that bring you money. Not just money itself, because also money is a ceiling. You as a person, you can grow your capacity to handle X amount of money. So when you have that kind of confidence, you're able to attract that kind of money. And if you grow your capacity to the next level, then your basket is bigger to handle that. So when I talk about money confidence, is not anchored on the money itself, but you as a person
Building
capacity to handle that X amount of money. Yeah.
And in the process, then building your self-confidence.
Yes.
Okay. Women and money is a tea for tough one, because so many authors have made a good amount of money writing about women and money.
Yeah.
Good girls never get the corner office. Money, what's the other one I've read? I'm trying to think of all the books about women and money. But truly, are there intrinsic, what should I call them? Behaviors that are, that sort of keep women from sometimes advancing financially, whether it's poor negotiation, hizo vitu zote.
Yeah, definitely. As women, we have been socialized to be polite and nice. And unfortunately, when it comes to money, and especially if you're going to be in business, and even there are levels of corporate life that requires that aggressive edge to it. So that is discouraged. It is labeled as male and domineering. We're given all these sorts of names, and it's simply having a shrewdness and ruthlessness to pursue a goal that you see. So I find that a lot of us are discouraged from having those qualities of objectivity, of not people pleasing, of just saying, hey, I don't like what you said. You're not going to treat me like that. If someone is talking over you and you're in a board meeting and you kind of like stop them and say, hey, you wait your turn, like it's considered aggressive,
rude,
and rude. But those are the qualities that are needed for you to advance in a very, unfortunately, male-dominated space.
Let me ask you, quick one.
Yes.
You're very right about that, but the world also doesn't respond to women who are outrightly aggressive. The world loves a feminine girl. Like, but a princess, come help me, come save. The world loves that, responds to that, not financially, but in other ways. But then when women are aggressive, it's then also taken badly. When you're like, oh, I am tough. That it's like, why are you trying to be something you're not? So You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
So you have to choose. You have to choose. Do you want everyone to like you and be that damsel in distress?
Yes.
So you gotta choose which way are you going to go. And sometimes whether you like it or not, you have to be on the other side whereby people don't really like you, but they respect you. And in a world of money, respect is more valuable than being liked.
You see, there's also a threshold, right? In terms of that level where you are self-confident, which attracts respect. Because someone can just basically see that you are self-assured. You're sure of yourself. You're sure of what you're saying. You're sure of your walk, your gait, your dressing, your everything, and that attracts some level of respect. And then there's the other one, which is aggression, which is like you're overdoing.
Yeah.
Same thing, even if it was a man who was exemplifying certain characteristics, we'd be like, hey.
But men get away with it more easily.
Yes,
sure.
on that side. They don't get away easily if now you become the other side. When you are too meek.
Yes, very true.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a level, there's a balance where that is. How do you tell how do you tell that you're operating on the balance?
I think if you're
or is it something that's just innate that you will feel that, you know what, as long as I'm confident about where I am, I'm fine?
I think as a person, you have to grow in leadership so that it's not really a matter of you're hustling people or you're trying, confidence, if you're really confident, you don't have to prove it. Like, it just comes. It's an aura. It's you embody it. So you're not trying to get people to know that you're confident. If you're trying to do it, you're probably not confident. So I think the line is you always have to be respectful of other people. And one of the things that comes with confidence is competence. So you know what you're saying, you have the skill sets, you have everything that accompanies, for example, a particular role, and you are in it for a bigger goal. So for instance, if yours is to grow a company or yours is to technologically advance whatever it is that you're doing, you're doing it. You're just making the goal and not trying to unapita na watu, if I can put it that way. It's just about the goal. Let's make it about the goal. Let's not make it about people. Of course, the people are working on it. You're going to have personalities that you have to deal with. But at the end of the day, you have to maintain what are we talking about on the table.
Thinking through, sometimes I feel like the women empowerment conversations have been heavily commercialized.
Definitely.
And it makes sense because, where there's money to be made, someone will make money.
Yes.
How do you actually empower women outside of, let me give you this secret success formula? I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of self-help as a genre. There's like the people who tell you this is the right way to do things. If you add 1 + 1, you will get 2 in your life. Like, so how do you what's actual women empowerment, the actual work that goes into it, outside of the NGO talk and the commercialization?
I think that we need to stop looking at women as victims, because every time we look at someone as a victim, we're going to develop the hero complex. I'm coming to save you. And when that happens, you disempower the person. You have seen it. Whenever we are talking about poverty eradication, mechanisms, people are given money. There's a program, someone was telling me about, we give you money and then we help you set up a business, and then by the end of maybe 3-4 months, this person is still where they were, and then they're coming and telling you, oh, please help me. Even in your own history, relatives or friends who've been in that cycle. Now, I believe that when you're trying to empower women, you have to understand that they have the ability to lift themselves. They might need information and knowledge and probably some cheering on, but they don't necessarily need the money tell them, hey, this is everything that you need, now do it. Because by doing that, you disempower the person. You're perpetuating that victimhood. So I also think that it is important for people to put money where their mouth is. Why do I say that? Every single time you get something for free, you don't value it. You don't.
It's true. Unapangwa t-shirt na so in ya kulala.
Exactly.
Ama inakuwa duster. Yeah.
I tell you, at least you can use.
Eric, why are you looking at me like, have I lied? Have I lied?
So nisikunulia t-shirt for birthday.
No.
Yeah, you're near free.
No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know.
Exactly. Please, I love t-shirts. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so
right.
you don't value that. But when you pay for something, you value it. And depending on how much you pay for something, that's the kind of value that you will put into it. So for instance, in our world of coaching, the more someone puts money into coaching, the more committed they are, the more pursuant they will be of whatever it is that the goal that they have set out. But if you give it for free, it's like you're speaking to the air. Like,
that's also very convenient for you from a financial perspective, don't you think?
definitely.
Yeah.
It helps me financially.
Yes.
But at the same time, the person cannot receive transformation if they're not willing to spend on it.
How does coaching work, actually? So somebody pays for sessions.
Yes.
Would you, for example, coach Mariam today on a different tangent than you'd coach the next lady who comes to you? Like,
Kuna syllabus.
Is everybody? Are you coaching Mariam to exactly what she wants to do? Like, are you customizing her coaching, or is it come, Mariam, sit there? So what do you want to do? Okay, so this is what you do.
And then,
Like
are there
this.
milestones? How do we measure progress? Are there
Exactly.
milestones and all of that? And is there an end to coaching? It's like, nimefika, I've achieved everything I've ever wanted to achieve.
Sasa yako ikiisha.
Yeah, fair. I do think that there are different kinds of coaching. There is one-on-one coaching whereby it's highly customized. So you want to reach a particular goal, the next person wants to reach a different goal. So that has to be very customized. But I also believe that you have to go to a coach that demonstrates the qualities or the results that you want. Okay. So for instance, I don't do career coaching. Someone else will do it. So you go to the person depending on the result that you want to achieve. And then when it comes to group coaching, that's whereby, for instance, you're all going the same way. You might have probably variances in that goal, but it's the same goal. Okay. So you have a curriculum whereby these are the milestones, this is what we're talking about, these are the results. We're going to evaluate at the end of our group, let's say if it's a 3 months, 6 months, 1 year coaching, and that's it. And then to speak to the end of coaching, I do believe that good coaching is whereby once you are coached, you never have to go back to the same kind of coaching. It might be the same. Let's say, for instance, when I talk about money, or if you're an entrepreneur, you are getting to probably a $10,000 a month, and you want to hit 60 or 100,000. Those are going to require different skill sets and different levels, but it is still money. It's just that you never go back to the 10K.
Okay.
You're going higher, so that now if you're scaling a business, you're thinking about systems, you're thinking about people, you're thinking about probably price differentiation and a different product that takes you to that next level. Yeah.
Okay. We're about to go into a break, but we'll come back with this conversation. Hashtag continues to be Fixing the Nation NTV. If you have any questions, please use the hashtag #AskAway. Of course, you can call in on 0719-038-858. Hashtag Fixing the Nation. We'll be right back.
Yes.
She should coach you.
Definitely.
For WhatsApp Nation.
WhatsApp Nation.
I take payment in Mandazi.
Hey.
No. show her the value for money. Now, this is where now you get coached now for the money part. House Ngogi says, the guest is very eloquent and knows her stuff. While empowering the girl child, let us not forget the boy child who will cope with that girl. I'm a system itasema era. Era. Why is it that every time we have conversations about one gender, then the other, we have to say, no, but balance the other gender? It's like the politics.
Specific, can I be honest? It's never, women will never see men having a conversation and come in like, what about the girl? We just go and do the girl child things. It's men who see conversations about women.
When we had Man Cave, what did you and Jared keep saying?
We said tutapitia tu tuone.
Exactly.
Tunuse tu nyama.
Exactly. You're bringing in the formal. You're bringing the formal beat. You're feeling, you know, I mean, why man?
No, that was banter though.
It was because
it was genuinely.
It happens. No, I'm saying it basically happens. If you say man conversation, then the women will wonder, okay, but why man? Why what are they going to discuss? When you say, you know, we're coaching women, empowering women, they'll be like, but why are the men? Anyway, I think that's just a society thing. We have to outgrow it. You do confidence coaching, and you're very clear. You're not a life coach. You're a confidence coach, and you look at how to give women that confidence. And that line of what comes first? Is it confidence, confidence, or money confidence? Self-confidence versus money confidence. In the end, it comes to the same.
Yes.
I'm just not getting it on who's your customers. Like, somebody who's watching today, all the women who are watching the show today, how do they know that they qualify to be Judy's customer, client?
Yeah, so I think you have to self-evaluate. Most of the women who come to me, I will say that they are in a particular area of their life. They're feeling dissatisfied. They're also feeling as though they have shortchanged themselves. They were probably very ambitious, very bold at some point in their lives. And then because of whether it's office politics, whether they got married, had a baby, you know, all that stuff, it happens.
Life
happens. Or a traumatic experience happens and it backtracks you and you feel as though your confidence has dipped. Those are the kinds of women that come to me and we work together.
So what do you do?
So I help them rebuild their confidence. And also sometimes it's not only just rebuilding. Sometimes it's building a new path of confidence, because when you were in your 20s, there's a different kind of confidence that you need when you are in your 30s or in your 40s. And also depending on where you want to go, let's say if you want to become a public figure, if you want to be, you know, dominate a particular industry, those are very different kinds of conversations and different kinds of confidences that you have to build so that you can get there.
What is this confidence building thing exactly? Are you praying for me? Are you?
So
what will I undergo so that now I came to you with diminished confidence?
Yes.
I am leaving you with higher confidence.
So we have to look at your thought life. You know, most confidence comes from what you think and what you tell yourselves. Most of us women, we are so ruthless, like with our inner conversations. So let's say if you fail at something, you're going to bash yourself. You wouldn't even tell, like, you know,
a friend the same thing.
You would never say it to someone else, but you dare say it to yourself.
You'd never tell your friend that.
You would never. So
but you would tell yourself.
We have to repair those conversations that are happening, and then you have to learn how to talk to yourself. Then there's also the fact that we also pamper ourselves, so not pushing the envelope a little bit further. So that we set goals and then we kind of excuse ourselves from those goals. So for instance, if you said that at the end of this year, people with New Year's resolutions, that I will be at this particular place in life or this particular place in business, because it's September and things haven't really worked, you kind of edit.
That's 2 months of the year that were gone because of Mandamano. What was I supposed to?
So there's something that there's something you're excusing yourself from, and there's a level of ownership that you don't have, because if you own your life, if you own the goal, you will be creative in how you decide. So we'll talk about the whole victim hero thing. We're going to figure out where you are. And then we have to chart a path forward. Okay, these are the things that we're going to do so that we can create permanence, so that we don't come back to the same situation.
Okay.
And then we build for, like, how are you going to scale this thing? Okay, we've managed where you are, now you're okay. You've hit your goal. How are you going to scale that? Because the problem is, whenever you grow and then you stop growing again, you start decaying. So you have to maintain scale for growth. You have to maintain that upward trajectory.
How do you balance between coming to me and showing me that I'm the one who's my own self-enemy versus validating when I'm coming to point fingers at others? I mean, I wanted to be here, but now you see Mariam did not do this and the other.
And you see the people who undermanaged, they also played a part, you see. And then the government of things.
And in this new era where, you know, it's about validation and all those things, I mean, validate my feelings, Judy.
As a coach, I'm not there to validate your feelings. Validation is for therapy. When you're coming to coaching, we're here to not see you as a victim. You are the driver of your life. So I will hit you with some hard truths so that I can keep you on that path of growth, and knowing that you can find the solutions for your business, for yourself, so that you're not looking at other people. Other people could have played a role, but at the same time, now how do we, in spite or despite of this situation, how can I still forge forward?
That means for sikila mtu hapa ni mtu mzima. At some point you have to take some responsibility for your life. You spoke earlier about, you know, self-evaluating, and I think that's important. How do you start that process of self-evaluating so that you know what are my gaps as far as my confidence is concerned, and this is where I need to go? I need a coach, I need this, I need that. How do you just evaluate yourself from?
So I think you can evaluation is basically what is in the past. So that means that you had a goal. Why didn't you achieve it? So you're going to ask yourself the hard questions. I said I was going to do 1, 2, 3 things. Why didn't I do it? Why didn't I? What are the excuses that I gave myself? And then once and also there are things that you did well. Not forgetting that, the things that I didn't do well. And then you're asking yourself, who did I not ensure that they kept me accountable? So why do I need a coach to help me through this process to hit my goal? So it has to be very honest. And I always tell my clients, like, you have to be like an auditor. You see, an auditor, hana ma feelings. Atakuja kwambie, yo, you guys.
Hauna receipt.
Hauna receipt. Is this the fact? You know, autamkasirikia cause anafanya tu kazi yake. So you as a person, you have to come from that place of auditing your life as an auditor, so that you don't minimize your failures, and also you don't overplay your
wins.
Exactly. So that way it doesn't feel so bad when you're looking at that sheet and saying, hey Judy, this is the audit, and then now you can objectively decide how you're going to fix what needs fixing.
What's the we talked about milestones, but how do I know, is there a guarantee that the coaching has worked? I could come to Judy, I'm in there 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, nothing is happening. Could be my fault, could be Judy's fault. How do we know? How do we evaluate those things? Like, it's everything is so intangible, it's hard to put like measurements and baselines. I'm wondering how you do these things.
Yeah, so depending on which kind of coaching you are getting, the intangible things should have like an physical manifestation.
Measure.
Or a physical measure per se. And for me, that's why confidence will always manifest in how your money is growing. So for instance, if you are employed, most likely you'll either look for a promotion. That's a physical, growth, of your money. Or if that is not possible, you're gonna get a side hustle. it's showing growth because you're putting yourself out there. Your confidence is growing. If you're in business, if you have a daily, like one of my clients that I coached, she had a daily cap, like this is what I was making. I want to grow that. So she grew that. And so that shows that there's progress. And then when it comes to milestones, using your goal, we get to milestones. For instance, let's say you want to be debt free. The first step is to list all your debts, right?
Yep.
And then
Honestly,
yeah, exactly. And then secondly, you're gonna probably say, hey, what is the money that I have, the sources of income? And then the next milestone is probably to get what are other sources of income that are low-hanging fruits. Maybe I have maembes at home in Ushago, so I'll probably cash
the
in.
company is showing. It's almost the time for us to shine, baby. It's almost our time.
It's almost our time.
It's for book mapema donors.
and now get out of experience.
Yes,
It's what she was thinking about this morning.
you know. So unajua, I have like 70K, so that can go into this. And then after that, you're like, this will be like me being debt free. So you see, there are milestones, and all of these milestones have tasks attached to them.
Right.
So for me to get new streams of income, I have to do 1, 2, 3 things. If that one stream of income is the maembe, I have to liaise with mom at home or whoever is going to give me the maembes and do the whole thing. So all of these things are tangible when it comes down to paper, so that now you can say, hey, I actually do believe that confidence is a number. So your number could be 10 million, another person's number could be 100 million. So depending on the sacrifices and the extent that you have pushed yourself, that will be your confidence number.
Okay.
Plano is saying the first step in going debt-free is changing your mindset.
I guess so. I think also you have to be in action.
So that's it. You're like, okay, I've got
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And what you're doing with your money,
Yes.
that keeps you in this loop of debt.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was thinking through how I like how tangible and you put these things into actionable things. Then life happens, right? So from a confidence coach perspective, how do you adjust for life happening?
Yes.
Force majeure.
Yeah, I had the debt. I said sawa, lakini I know it's almost mango season. December ni sawa. Nimeomba mam pro box nimejaza. Unfortunately,
An accident happens.
or zikaribika kwa who knows?
Yes.
Now what?
So now that's where we come into you as the self-confidence part that has to show up for you, because you have to believe that you are the operator in your life, in terms of despite what happens, you'll be the stable factor. So hizi vitu zote zitafanyika, life will life. You can even be hospitalized. You can fall sick, but you know that I will get back on my horse. That is the determination that you have to build, so that even if the plan does not fall through exactly as I planned it, at the end of the day, the goal is still the goal. So when I am better, probably if I'm sick or whatever situations that are happening at home, whoever you're fighting, you're still gonna get back to your horse and not say, oh, now this has happened, then I'm excused again. I'm excused from my goal. Yeah.
Apart from socialization, which you said, would distinguish between how a girl is raised and how a boy is raised, and therefore how their mind is, what else would distinguish your clientele from the men in their relationship with money and self-confidence?
I think a deep desire to be successful. You have to have a deep desire to be successful.
Are you saying the women don't have that innately?
I think it has been...
Or is it the socialization bit?
There's the socialization bit, but also there's the... You have not been exposed. There's also a lack of exposure, because there's success has been, we see success based on what has been defined for us. So, for instance, maybe, at our time, it was like, if you have a degree, you have, that's successful. You go somewhere else and someone is telling you, hey, we've run this family business for 50 years, that is what is defined as successful. So you have to be exposed so that you have that deep desire for what you call success. If you don't desire it deeply, again, like the quote you read, you're gonna fall into other people's
narratives.
Yes.
Okay. Now there's from a societal point of view, there's things that you hear anecdotally that are just untrue. Women are each other's worst enemy. What else? Things like that. But they do feed into our psyche and our way of operating. What do you think happens when more women are empowered? Do you think we do the opposite of empowering each other realistically, or that we actually are there and we become like the ladder, just helping pull the other person up?
Yeah, I think for most of us women, once you're climbing that ladder of success, you understand how hard it is. You really come to appreciate the process. And if you are in a position to help someone else not go through the labors and the pains of climbing that ladder, I think most of us, we are wired for
helping.
Helping.
Right.
I think...
Should we be... Sorry to interrupt. Should we be demonized if we're not? Because I never hear... Men never get blamed for, oh, you're a man who you didn't help the other man. It's only women that suddenly now you're in charge of every other woman who has ever tried to do anything. Is that kind of unfair?
It's kind of unfair. It's also like it's being played into the nurturing aspect of us women.
Yes, yes.
So it's kind of more or less expected of us to nurture the society and not be single, like individualized, like, okay, if I make it, I make it. The rest of y'all, you gotta handle it.
What does that have to do with me?
Exactly. Yeah, so we're demonized for not being nurturing in not just in our families but also in community. Yeah,
it's an extension actually.
Yes,
of just what's expected at home.
Yeah, spread it everywhere. How can we ride on? And I'm just leaning back to the quote. How can we ride on what has worked and just amplify it? Because I'm looking at it in terms of, the structure of society. A woman plays a central role. In very many communities, they're actually matriarchal in the way they're set up. But we've come to define success in what the West has brought as what men have been doing. But if we look back, in just hold the entire thing of nurturing, of raising, of supporting, of what women do, that alone, if we just said success, that is successful. How can we then also use that as a measure of success? Such that everything that you're doing, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a community leader, you're a community mobilizer, all those things are sort of like considered, okay, yeah, but where is your success? How come you're not a manager in an office? How come you're not, we are not calling you Dr. So-and-so with a PhD?
Okay, I'd want to be liked and agree with you, but but the thing is, for what has worked before, it was the economic thing, because what most people don't see in the African society is that a lot of women used to manage, okay, let's not say finances, but the trade.
They run the economy.
Exactly. They ran the economy of the home, from farming, from trading, from, creating clothes and doing all of that.
Building homes actually as well.
Exactly. So the African woman has always been in charge of the money bag.
Yeah.
So let's not remove the money bag from the conversation. Let's amplify it. I actually think that more of the Western influence has come to disempower women so that we are kept instead of actually being the people who are making the money. So in the narrative that, the Western economy is big, there are more men who are making a certain type of money. But honestly, in Africa, very few men can be able to make some of those, like what their average or good income we would say. Sure. So as women, we have to be part and parcel of the money conversation. How many billionaires do you have in Africa who are women who have not married into money
or inherited it? Because the first one that came to mind was Isabella Santos, and that's family money.
Exactly.
Yeah. I get what you mean. I'm wondering, is there a place for choice, choosing these other accolades, coming from a place of opportunity, education, information, everything.
Yeah.
And choosing to put the money aside. Crazy, I know.
For me, there's no world. There is no world where money is divorced from the money. And I don't say that these roles are not important. Like being a mom is important, being a wife is important, being a community leader is important. But all of these things are powered by money. Yeah. For you to be a nice looking wife with that wig and
the hair flip,
there has to be money for you to have a personal trainer to look like whatever it is that you consider to be a good, for you to make those wonderful meals, rib eye, whatever, they require money. So, and then the issue is when you are on the other side where you're just playing mom and wife and you're not contributing to the economics of the home, you're always like, give me. Yes. So when you're being given, what happens?
You're not a decision maker.
So you're not a decision maker.
What would I call it? The glamorization of the stay-at-home mom, especially now on TikTok. It's a global trend, right?
Yeah.
But these are very different stay-at-home moms from, I think, what is the usual standard, because it's usually very wealthy men. And the women are going back to being traditional, so they cook from scratch. And from scratch, I mean, if it's time to make breakfast,
kitchen garden stuff.
Unanza need the dough.
You're milking the cow.
You're milking the cow. That's exactly it. What does that? Just your thoughts on that, because I find it slightly dangerous, but I also don't want to invite. If that's really your life, fine, share. But I don't know what it does for young women who are now on TikTok just looking at that and being like, wow, she's so glamorous.
Yeah.
Full face of makeup, milking the cow.
Yo, it's a lie. It's a lie, my friend. Because the reality
who does
is,
makeup for the cow?
Exactly. You see, the issue is these women are making content. That content is making the money. You see, that's number one. That's what people are not seeing.
That part, people forget
that it is content.
Yes.
It's content creation. And then it's so dangerous for women to not have their own money, because when that man drops you, what happens? I'm not saying that they're not good men, they will not take care of you, and you will die in old age and all of that. But what happens if that man suddenly decides, you're not scratching the itch for me, I think I can do better? What happens? Number one, you don't even have the money for the lawyers. You're not gonna be seeing those children. You're gonna be kicked out, like, I'm sorry to say. And this is just the reality of human beings.
It is.
So I think it's a dangerous thing. I think women should have, and if you decide to live that life, make sure that you have a prenup, and you make sure that you're independent, okay, not the independent, but that in quotes, you have a bank account that
some freedom.
Yeah, so that it's called FU money. So if you need to,
you can.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
I think everybody's created.
That they're content creators who make money off said content as they push a lifestyle to you, they are making money still.
Yes.
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 Sorry, Eric, you were
I
saying.
was just saying, everybody's created to have some sort of agency.
Yes.
Yeah, it's man, woman, everybody wants to feel that they are doing something that empowers them, that gives them that agency, that I make a decision by myself, I do something by myself. At some point, I will, seek counsel from my partner, from my relatives, from so and so, but then I'm making a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're saying. Self-confidence, money confidence. Judy Muinde, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I
Naomba
appreciate
zikiiva
it.
tafadhali. Fanye hivyo.
Tutakukumbuka.
Yes. Judy
For
is a
small
confidence coach. She's been here with us. In our next conversation, we go into content creation now full-time. Film and how our film industry is doing in Kenya, whether we can take it to the world or whether we can go and bring the world here. I'm still big on that one. Keep it here for that. It's 9 a.m.